morning, everyone, and welcome to American Scousers. Morning coffee or tea with American Scouser on a Friday where we are more reckless than usual. And the reckless crew is here. Kazi, what's happening?
Wonderful, gentlemen. Yes, I like coming on this podcast now. I have two children at home. It's like a little break for an hour, you know what I mean? So it's lovely. Lovely time.
I mean, might as well talk to your kids. You know, you're talking to me and Anan over here, but the same difference.
Fair, I get more sense out my 3-year-old than you two. So, you know what I mean?
It's a close competition. And Anan is here looking like he is due for that shave and the haircuts.
Looking like Tom Hanks in that one movie, Castaway, you know. I got a ball. It says Wilson on it. Yeah, no. Good to be here. Good to be here. It's going to be a good Saturday. International football, so there's fuck all going on right now.
It's weird.
Is it just me who enjoys international break these days? Like, I like having a break. The fucking Reds, it's far too stressful to win the league these days. If you can win the league on 78 points like you could back in the day, I think I'd hate it. But now it's like 90-odd points. I know when the international break, I can have a little chill before Liverpool have to win every single game, knowing to man.
I don't mind the break in action, actually, now that you mentioned. I mean, 2K plays today. I'll just watch that. You know, we'll talk about it with my brother and stuff. But I don't mind it. Like this weekend, you know, like tomorrow we're going to Milwaukee to see Jasmine and stuff like that. And normally, you know, when I plan something on weekend, the first thing I have to do is like, when is Liverpool playing? When is Fenerbahce playing? And now I was like, fuck, nobody's playing. We can do whatever the fuck we want. So it's like I kind of like good to have a weekend like that where you have zero plans. Because, I mean, I don't know, like my plans always revolve around kickoff times. And then you have to kind of like schedule around them and stuff. But do you watch international soccer or not?
Yeah. No, I watch plenty of it. It just sucks. It's just, you know, if you're not watching Liverpool, really, it's really not it.
Absolutely insane what you've just said there. I watch loads of it, but it sucks. That's like I just don't like getting kicked in the balls. I just do it consistently.
No, it's, you know, listen, I find myself watching MLS on Wednesdays when there's nothing to watch. But just international football to me lost its flavor a while ago, especially with these useless matches like, you know, the freaking Nations League, and you know, you watch the African qualifiers to the World Cup, and I watched Libya, and they suck ass so bad. And you know, it's just like I got no reason to watch. England lost yesterday, and that's the only team I watch and care for. It's just I mean, Hungary play Netherlands today, so Van Dijk goes up against the legend, best player of the world, you know, the greatest ever, Dominik Szoboszlai. But other than that, there's really nothing to do.
It's a very much easy afternoon for Big Virgil.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is right now the clip of Chiesa scoring against the Netherlands is going viral from a few years ago, and everybody's like, Chiesa just scored yesterday, and all Liverpool fans are like, and this is why we signed him. I'm like, guys, this is an old video. He's injured. He's got a broken
thing
tailor.
Happened with another goal. Like people were like, it was Szoboszlai.
Yeah, the Szoboszlai free kick too.
Szoboszlai's free kick.
He's back, baby.
That'll go viral today at 7.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai just did this.
Some shitty news. Alisson is set to leave for a month, so pretty much not going to be back during this block in between the two international breaks over there. I mean, as much confidence as we have with Kelleher, it's a tough stretch of games, man, to be leaving without Alisson, Kazi.
Yeah, it's really sucks. It really does. He's one of Liverpool's best players, and whether he's in goal or out, you know, if it's an outfield player or at the goalkeeper, it's still really shit. You don't want to lose a main player. What I will say, compared to last year, and people forget this, that Kelleher actually played more games than Alisson last year. Overall, is that Liverpool were awful defensively last year in games, and Liverpool are very much better defensively in games last year than last year. So there is a positives there, where I feel like Kelleher has never really let us down. Listen, we look at shots and go, well, Alisson would have saved that. And I think Liverpool fans, and I was very much preaching this on the podcasts here, that you can't compare anyone to Alisson. Oh, Alisson would have saved that. Well, yeah, because Alisson saves 99% of fucking shots because he's the greatest keeper in the world. You can't keep comparing him to the greatest keeper, but Kelleher is still a very much reputable top 10 Premier League goalkeeper, in my opinion. So we need to keep that in mind when the next month comes up. And if you look at shots and goals go in and we go, well, Ali would have saved that. Well, yeah, but he's also the best at doing it. So it sucks, it really is. But I have got full faith in Kelleher, and I also thought Jaros was really good when he came on against Palace as well. So that'll do him the world of good.
Yeah, I mean, you have confidence, but there's like a different kind of confidence, when like Ali is in goal. The one thing that I would say, Anando, is that it does feel like the players have confidence when Kelleher is in goal, which is probably the most important thing. Usually, as a defender, or actually the entire team, but more obvious defense than anything else, it makes a huge difference who's behind you in terms of, are they a shot stopper? Like I can let that happen. There's no way he's beating Kelleher from out there or kind of stuff. I just feel like in the game, because you can see when Jaros came in, that the same confidence is not there. We're not playing the ball back, which thank God in some ways that we maybe normally would play back because we didn't want to put him in bad situations. I feel like with Kelleher, like the rest of the team does not skip a beat. They act like nothing has changed ultimately in terms of the way they play.
Yeah, and that's something he's earned, right? He's played and he's performed and he's done well and he's won us a cup. And I mean, he's earned their respect. I'm sure the first few times he came in, they're like, "Oh fuck, who the fuck is Kella, whatever." And then he comes in and he plays, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, he's earned his respect." Jaros is probably going to earn that eventually if he continues to get minutes. But obviously now we want to see Kelleher play. He's earned it. He's talked about being a number one. He's talked about moving on. So good opportunity for him. And we knew it was going to come. It's Alisson. We knew he's going to get injured, and we knew at some point we're going to have to use Kelleher. So his opportunity has came. He's earned it, and just go out there and enjoy it. I just hope he doesn't pull a Kwanzaa and say, "I knew he would get injured, and I'm ready to go." That interview lives in my head rent-free, man. I'm telling you.
I think the thing is, though, as well, lads, is that Jaros probably plays against Brighton away in the League Cup.
Oh, probably.
Probably, because you're at a stage where you don't want your third and fourth choice keeper starting for you. There's actually games where you look and go, maybe in the third Champions League game. I can't remember who's next. I don't remember. Is it Leverkusen at home, I think? Who's next?
After Brighton?
No, after the next Champions League game.
I think it is Leverkusen.
Yeah, because Liverpool have a bit of breathing space. Do you start them against a good Leverkusen side? I'm not sure, but Leverkusen haven't really started unbelievable in the Bundesliga. They started okay, but not unbelievable.
Oh, actually, it's Leipzig away.
Yeah, that's
I'll give you the rundown.
Leipzig away.
Here, I'll show you the freaking. I'm too lazy to read.
I think it's Chelsea and Leipzig, isn't it? Yeah. So
Chelsea away, Leipzig away, Arsenal, and then Brighton, and then Leverkusen.
So is there an argument here, gents, that you do Jaros for Leipzig and Brighton, and say to them you're playing the other, because those 3 league games are ginormous. I think we all agree that Liverpool, you'd want at least 7 points out the next 3 league games, at least.
Hold on, let's pull that up again.
Away in there, Chelsea at home, and then I think it's Brighton away, is it? Liverpool probably need at least 7. I just think you might see more of Jaros than you think. That's all.
I think like away Arsenal is a good result as long as you beat Chelsea at home, right?
And Brighton at home. I always say with a draw. I always say with a draw, it all depends on the other 2 results either side. If you pick up 7 and 9, that's fine. You know what I mean? But if you pick up 4 out of 9, it's like, or 5 out of 9, it's like, that's not good. You know what I mean? So I always think 2 wins and a draw, it's always fine. But 2 draws and a win killed you. It's like you'd rather lose 1 and win 2. I say it all the time in our Discord, draws kill title races. It's not losses, it's draws. So, I don't know, man. I think you'll see more of Jaros, is what I mean.
And then, I mean, obviously, like we finished with Villa at home. So that is a really tough stretch to be missing Ali, man. I mean, it's like nothing but top games. Because when we come back, I mean, honestly, when he comes back, I should say, we have away Southampton, but then we play Real at home. We have City, Newcastle away, Everton away. So it does not really get easier. I mean, basically,
I'd rather have him for those.
Yeah, we got the easier part done. So, I mean, so it's not, it'll be good to have him in any part of the freaking action, but at least we're not making a huge drop to an unknown. Well, thanks to Ali being out regularly in some ways, that you have your backup who has a regular action.
But they also say that he's out for a month, but he's got 2 weeks off right now. And injuries can change in 2 weeks when you're not doing playing other games of football and shit. You know what I mean? Where you can just go in.
It's the hammy, man. That's, you know what I mean? Like the thing with the hammy is if you come early, you're gone for another month. Is it the one that he's been nursing though? Remember he missed a game a couple of weeks ago. He missed a couple of games a couple of weeks ago, and everyone was losing their mind. Is it? I said this to you guys. Is he the one that was kind of nursing through this? Do you know what I mean? Is this one that he's been carrying and getting through games, and now it's gone? I'm not sure, but he did miss a couple of games a couple of weeks ago. I'll tell you what, he doesn't know how to play with it. Then stop kicking the freaking ball with the outside of your foot, like full freaking force. When that's because I guarantee you, it's not the pass that's coming from Trent that he kicks out. That's the injury. It's the one like a minute or so before where he kicks with the outside of the foot.
I don't think it's that. I think he lands weird on the Van Dijk pullback on Gahey. If you actually look at the Van Dijk pullback on Gahey,
the one in the box.
Yeah, and he comes to push the ball and he lands super weird. If you actually look at it again, if Liverpool want to sort that out, if you actually look at Ali, he actually lands really weird. He plants his feet really weird. And I was like, maybe it's that. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it was that one.
Yeah, I went with the one he literally kicks again with the outside of the foot because that's what happened last time he did that. And he does it regularly. It's not like he does it once in a blue moon, but never good. A couple of news around the league or lack of news. Not a lot of news on Liverpool, and usually international break, that's news nice. Is good news. So we'll run with that. But the Manchester United, they had the meeting, and they literally, I'm not even making this shit up, snuck out the back door, got picked up in the back door in the alley, and took off without making any statements. Nothing happens. So did those two draws basically extend in his career another international break or not?
Yeah. Well, like we said last Friday, I told you he won't be gone yet. And I say he won't be gone probably till December, when the schedule is tight and there's losses after losses or draws and points are being dropped and United are sitting 12th. That's when he'll go because they want when they sack him, they want it to be like, look, we gave him every single possible chance. It's just not working out. Is he going to get sacked? Yes. Is it now? Not yet, but we're almost there. He's cooking.
Just simmering right now.
It's a tough one. I think this is a super tough one because first things first, United already had the board meeting scheduled. Right?
Yeah, that's like a monthly ordeal, I guess they do.
You're always going to have the board meeting scheduled. The reason why it's got so many eyes on it is because of the performances of the team. The thing is, for me, fellas, is when he would have got sacked at the Villa anyway, and not even because of the results. Even if he would have won the Villa game, I still would have sacked him. I'll tell you why. 7 out of his 9 signings were on the bench. That's not good.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, and there's 300 million quid worth of talent on the bench. And whether you think he's a good player or Højlund or Martinez and De Ligt, whatever, I don't care about that. Where you have signed these players because you wanted these players, including, let's get it right. When they go, we've got this new regime coming in, and this new regime's going to start picking the players and signing the players. Let's get it right. That's what happens in most football clubs now. Yeah. They have a say, the manager. No. The regime does not pick De Ligt and Mazraoui in a double deal from Bayern Munich. Absolutely not. That's all Ten Hag. I don't care what anyone says. That's all Ten Hag. So, but they should look at that and go, well, you're picking Harry Maguire, who you said you didn't fancy for a couple of years, and you've picked Johnny Evans, who was the best player on the pitch against Villa, which is absolutely insane, by the way. Saying that in 2024, when we're 10 weeks away from 2025, and we're saying that. And I would have fucking sacked him on the back of that. Because the one thing that De Ligt and Martinez need to do is develop a relationship. And you're not trusting them and you're farming them off against Porto in the 70th minute. You know what I mean? I just think that just seems like a manager to me who's desperate. You're grasping. You're desperate. Do you know what I mean? That this feels like a manager who hasn't got time to get relationships developed because I feel like he feels that pressure already. You know, I'm not sure what you guys think, but that doesn't look good to me when you ask for the centre-half. Those two centre-halves particularly, by the way, who you fucking partnered in Ajax, and now you don't want to start them in a Premier League game, and Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans are coming back in.
I guess what my thing is, they were already, I mean, here's the problem, right? Like, extending him already was a mistake, because now you made him buy even more players that's probably going to be gone when the new manager comes in and be like, who the fuck brought Ajax over here? And then, just gonna start scattering them around and getting rid of them. And that's the problem they already have. Like guys like Casemiro and stuff like that, they can't dump on anybody because the wages are obnoxious. I guess in some ways, Anand, they made the mistake, might as well write it out. Because nobody is gonna come into this hot mess in the middle of October. Nobody good, nobody that's gonna make an impact. And I guess you can put Ruud in charge, get the new manager air freshener smell for another 3-4 weeks until the next international break. But this season almost is kind of cooked in some ways.
Yeah, no, it's funny when I read, didn't see the game, then I read that Johnny Evans was essentially man of the match, and I was looking for like a junior after Johnny Evans. Maybe there's like a little John. No, that's him. Yeah, the big mistake is letting him start the season and make these signings, because now whoever comes in next is stuck with these players. The club's stuck with players on payroll that maybe they don't need, they have no plan for. But yeah, you make these signings and then you don't play any of them in technically your biggest game of the season, because that could have been your, make or break. That not only does it make you look like an ass, also shows these players that you don't quite trust them yet. And that I don't know, that's not good for a locker room. If you ask me, at least, it just feels weird. He came out and he's like, here's a starting 11. And, Martinez, he was like standing there and he's like, hey, can I look at that? And, he looks at it and he's like, what? And it's just like, they're like, what? So I don't know.
Hung this up here, damn it.
Yeah, it just doesn't look good. And I feel for the guy because he came in with a plan, but this club is toxic. Whoever goes there.
Do you feel sorry for him going on? Because he spent 600 million in 3 years. Do you feel sorry for that?
Not the spending and not that, but I feel like when he came in, this guy was supposed to be this fresher breath of. Yeah, and then he goes to United, and that's a toxic ass club. No matter who goes there, give me one guy other than Mourinho who went there and did something. And Mourinho only did it because he shit on them.
Money and bring your own fucking team over.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I felt bad for him. Answer Kazi, I felt bad for him initially.
Yeah,
all these transfer windows where you're spending a lot of money and you're bringing all these guys in, even if you can't dump people, right? You don't have to play them. Like, just because they're getting the wages, you don't have to play them. Yeah. You can play the guys you brought in, and you can have them on the pitch.
Listen,
but it's still not playing anything.
All I'm saying is, give the guy another year. All is at the wheel, and we got
play forever. But the thing is, don't mean, if you're United here, like there's two ways of looking at this. If you're the board, you go. If I'm in that board meeting for 7 hours and I'm going and I'm trying to fight the case for my manager, there's no case to fight. You go, well, you asked for these players, now you're not playing them.
Yeah.
The one thing that can buy you time when you're getting bad results, you could sit there in that board meeting and go, these lads are all fucking brand new. I'm trying to build a fucking team. They're trying to develop relationships. Do you know what I mean? He can't even fucking hang his hat on that because he's not fucking starting them. So there's nothing to hang your hat on. Do you know what I mean? That's what's so difficult. And the other thing that kills him is Arne Slot, because they can look off across the park and Liverpool and go, it's took them 7 games and they've got a style of play and you know exactly what they're fucking doing. And you've been in charge for 2 years and you have no style of play. You have no way of working. You can't get the best out of the players. That kills you. And when you're a manager and when you're a fan, you'll see Liverpool and go, hang on a second, they just took this fella from the fucking Dutch league. Exactly the same, by the way.
And he didn't sign half of his old team.
He hasn't signed out. He signed one football player who doesn't kick a ball, and he's come in and actually got a style of play, a completely different new style of play that Liverpool are kind of new to, and they're picking up results.
Yeah,
but that kills you as well. So as much as we can sit there and feel sorry for him and all that, mate, it feels like self-sabotage to me. If you're the manager, you can't start that team against Villa.
Honestly, we look at that start and we did the live watch along, and I was like, oh, he's like, this is his farewell tour. Like
he's resigning.
Like, he's like begging to be fired at this point.
He wants the millions, doesn't he? He wants to be sacked. It looked like to me he wants
17 or something like that. Somebody said in the live watch along.
17, 18 million or something. You get to.
I mean, that's freaking crazy. And I think that 11 looked like he just wanted the money and go to an island somewhere for like a couple of months. But no, he's hanging in there. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I think I felt bad for him 2 seasons ago, a season and a half ago, or whatever. But now he's had 2 transfers. Like, I was like, oh, he's in a no-win situation, maybe. Like, similar to what Anana's saying, because I do agree. That's why you need somebody who's going to be able to kind of fix things, not just a good, like, tactical guy or anything like that, but because there's a lot of drama to be managed as well. But now you spend all this money.
Exactly.
And nobody still knows what you're doing. Like, you look at all these teams, you're like, this is how they play. This is how Brighton plays. This is how Brentford plays. Nobody knows how United. They play counter soccer still, which they like catch Jose over because he was playing counter attack and playing defensive. At least you knew what the hell Mourinho was going to do. Like, you just don't know what this United team is trying to do.
Comparing that Jose Mourinho team to this team is night and day. That Mourinho team got 82 points.
Yeah,
which is pretty darn good.
But also, he plays results oriented. Speaking of, by the way, that's the good comedy over here. Is coming right up. Mo against United's when we come back from the.
He circled that game for 6 weeks, hasn't he? He's went, I've got something up my sleeve for 6 weeks here, Danny. I fucking love it. Show me a fucking
Fred hat-trick incoming, you know?
Jose, you dirty little bastard. Show me it. I want to see it again.
That's crazy. I didn't know he would get paid that much. I also didn't know NFL coaches get paid that much. Robert Saleh just got fired from the Jets, and he's going to get $260,000 a week for getting fired.
Yeah.
For how long?
For the next 2 years.
That's not bad. That's not shabby. Let's do this.
I will get fired for half of that. I will fire me for half of that, I swear.
On a serious note, though, with Ten Hag, do you anticipate him being in the job after the next 6? I don't. I think Brentford could beat them. Brentford are playing so well.
I think Brentford gets a result. Honestly, as shaky as Fenerbahce can be, this is a big game, so they'll have more focus. Like the stadium will be rocking and stuff like that. They could get a result against United. We were kind of like praying with my brother that Ten Hag stays, because that's when we have a better chance, as opposed to like a new manager coming, the team getting fresher and stuff like that. But then you have West Ham away, and then you have Chelsea at home. It does get easier, Leicester City, Ipswich Town. But I mean, here's the thing, and I think that's like what says everything about United is you can't look at any game on the fixture and be like, United will win that easily.
Yeah.
I think that's the key for most sides. And I think this is very important for our new listeners here. When you get to a stage with a manager where every game is a banana skin, it's time to go. Every game is a banana skin. Every game you can make a case for the other team. That is a bad position to be in any case of a manager. Do you know what I mean? When every single game you look and go, ooh. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Leicester in the League Cup at home. Well, you'll make 10 changes. Leicester have just won the first game. Maybe they might start to... you start to get to that stage where Leicester could go there and get a result. Or they could draw the game and go out on pens. Do you know what I mean? It just seems... I don't know, man. I can't believe they haven't fucked them off. I really can't.
My friend is a huge United fan. Huge. He texted me Sunday last week before the game, and he just sends me a picture of like the starting 11, and he goes, "This bald fuck is officially trying to get fired." He bought all these players, and none of them are starting. What the fuck? Evans and Maguire? Tomorrow's the day. Please, God.
It's not the day yet.
I mean, if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now.
The day after. The day after.
I really think they just don't have anywhere to go, and they don't think Ruud is going to be any better. They're just going to ride out the year, I think. I mean, at this point, why even... do you think some manager may be more likely to come in November thinking maybe I can make something happen in January?
First of all, yes. Number 2, United are 14th in the league and scored 5 goals in 7 games. To say that another manager can't come in and improve is an absolute joke. They definitely can't.
No, but I mean...
if that's what the boardroom are thinking, not you, Tim. If that's what the boardroom are thinking, then they're incorrect. Number 3, I think Graham Potter gets a style of play out of them like that. Within 2 minutes, you'll have a style of play out of them. Do you know what I mean? I think there's players there where you'll get Bruno's confidence back. You'll get Rashford's confidence back, Garnacho, because he's going to come and go, we're just going to take the ball here, and we're going to try and get 65-70% possession in most games. I think Graham Potter could turn him around like that.
I mean, Southgate will get him a style right away too, but
I don't agree with Southgate. By the way, Southgate is tactically inept. But the one thing I would say with Southgate, he does have a style of play.
Yeah,
he comes in, and the one thing he does do is go 3 at the back, which Martinez, the little Maguire, would fucking thank you for. Just go 3 at the back for a minute.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, let's have a clean sheet for a couple of games, please. Do you know what I mean? Let's stop conceding goals for a while. So that's I wouldn't take Southgate, but I'd take Graham Potter all day over Ten Hag.
I mean, I think Southgate is the one. I mean, I haven't heard. I mean, Potter's name comes up because he's available. But I think in terms of being closer, I always hear Southgate's name.
He's 4th. Southgate's 2nd favourite. Ruud's favourite. Southgate's 2nd favourite. Potter's 3rd. I think Thomas Frank could be 3rd favourite. Thomas Frank's interesting. Thomas Frank's really interesting.
That is interesting.
I would hate that.
I would not like that either. No.
I would hate that. I think.
But here's the thing. Thomas Frank, and this is when we go back to what Anand was talking in the beginning, is the toxic environment's going to let him survive? And the scope of the job, number one, like the cleanup you have to do, you have the money, you have the players, but you have a lot of drama and dead weight to deal with, and just United things. Would United spit out, like, chew and spit out Thomas Frank?
I think a lot of the toxicity will go away with Ten Hag just because of the atmosphere he's created for some of these players. But also because of the way United is run and because of the way their problems is, yes, Thomas Frank will have issues. But here's the thing. Any club that gets a new manager, the first 2-3 weeks, everything's fucking beautiful. They win games and they're excited. It's what happens after that. Now, once the 2-3 weeks pass and United go downhill, nobody's going to look at Thomas Frank and say, oh, it's bad. He's going to say, oh, he had a great start. Now he's working on things. Wait till the transfer window. Wait till next summer when he signs his players. And it's the same cycle. Ferdinand comes out. Just give him a contract, you know? And well, it'll be a cycle. But listen, I think Thomas Frank to United would be dangerous. He's a man with a plan, plays beautiful football. Has taken his club from absolutely nothing to where they are now. I would not like to see that.
The Thomas Frank thing's interesting, by the way, guys, because I think he holds all the cards. So I think he can sit there in the job interview and go, well, I need 3 years. And this hasn't worked. What you've been doing hasn't worked. You're the new regime and the new this and that with Dan Ashworth and all these lads. Now, by the way, United fans love to read about Dan Ashworth, but I'd love to see Dan Ashworth play centre mid. So I don't know what the backroom staff have to do with anything. Right, because what happens on the pitch is where the main thing is. But I think Thomas Frank holds all the cards. So when you do that, you can actually present a presentation to go, I can see what's wrong with your footy club. You need to get rid of 10 players and I need 2-3 years to do it. And I don't know if United are ready to face the facts of that's what they actually need and have full faith and trust in a manager. You could say they did that with Ten Hag, but that was the Glazers who kind of signed Ten Hag, and this is kind of the new way of doing things with a proper chief exec and not the old guy. I can't even remember his name. Ed Woodward. Yeah. So this is a new regime. This is a new way of doing things. If you present that, and by the way, if they did Thomas Frank, and then United come out and present that to the fans of going, brand new regime, this is our guy, our manager, it's going to take time. I think United fans could get on board with Ten Hag, but I don't know if United are ready to face the realization that that's what they actually need.
See, my thing is, I think a guy like Southgate will come into that interview and say, oh, I can make things work. I think, you know what I mean? Like, and we'll get the job because of that, as opposed to the guy saying, like, you got to bring this all shit down.
Yeah. Where Thomas Frank can go, I can wait, gents.
Yeah.
Wait, Postecoglou's under pressure to Spurs. I can wait.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm in the Premier League job and I'm performing well at my club. I can wait. Like, these big clubs will still come for me. You know what I mean? It could be, for example, say if it all goes wrong at Bayern Munich for Vincent. You'll go on, I'll go there. I'm you know what I mean? I can go there and go and so there's definitely where Thomas Frank holds the cards. But if you fully believe that, I think you can present that to the United fans of like, it's going to take time. This is our guy, though. New regime, new guy. We picked our man. This is our guy. But the question is, though, I want to ask you guys, why wasn't he the man in the summer?
Yeah, no, I think Thomas Frank might be looking at the Dortmund job soon. Nuri Sahin's not doing it, and it seems like people are turning on him. And it's actually rather funny because Dortmund fans are really angry at Jurgen Klopp for taking his new job and not coming to save their club. They're literally bashing him everywhere that he's essentially a traitor for taking another job instead of coming to save them. And I'm sure he saw that and he's like, what the fuck does that have to do with me, you fucks? I left 8 years ago. Why me? But also I was watching the Dortmund game last week, and there's a guy at ESPN, Martinez something. He's like I think Venezuelan pundit or something. Yeah. And he just, he talks about Nuri Sahin and he's like, yeah, he's not understanding. And then he goes on like a full on fucking like racist attack on Nuri Sahin. He's like, oh, maybe maybe he misses Turkey and we need to speak to him in Turkish to get him to understand the game again. And he just goes off. And like the guy sitting across from him is like, he speaks German. What is going on?
I don't think he speaks very well Turkish, actually.
He shut it down right away. And then after the game, and then at full time, he comes in and he goes, well, I think we do have Nuri Sahin for an interview. Okay, make sure you guys do it in Turkish so he understands. And the guy's like, what the fuck? Like the guy across from him again reiterates like, oh, he's fluent in German. So I tweeted at the fucker.
He's an absolute legend of the club. Played unbelievable for them. I was so happy when Liverpool signed him. I was gutted in workout. I was so happy when he went to Liverpool.
His injuries really didn't do him fair, but he's a good footballer, and he got the thing at Dortmund right. He had the first few games right, but then when the games got bigger, it's different.
But they're only like 4 points off the pace. I mean, I know they're seventh, but it's only 4 points off the pace.
And I think Thomas Frank can go to that club and
the top of the group in the Champions League, aren't they? I think
they're top of the Champions League.
Yeah. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I mean, he went to Turkey to a mid-table team, did really well there. And honestly, he was smart enough to say, hey, I'd rather manage a mid-table Turkish team over here. I'll go be an assistant at Dortmund and get the rebound, which is what happened. He went back to Dortmund as the assistant and then took over the job. Yeah, that dude is, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his freaking name, but
something Martinez. Nobody can stand him because he talks
he's like a typical, he is very ESPN. He just has to say stuff that sounds, very like harsh.
Yeah, it was just really, it just caught everybody off guard. My wife was there. She's like, did he just say that? I'm like, yeah. She goes, who's he talking about? I'm like, some
I mean, Nuri Şahin is as Turkish as like freaking,
as Turkish as Emre Can, really?
And stuff. He's like from that gang where they're more German. I mean, like I've talked about this before. I think like I have cousins who like were born in Germany, and I mean they're German. They're not really. They're more German than they're Turkish. I haven't had contact in a long time, mind you, because like I said, they're on the other side of the world. But like I mean, when we used to get together, even when they were in their teens, like when we were about the same age, I mean, they were a lot more comfortable. I mean, I've come to the point where I'm a lot more comfortable speaking in English sometimes than speaking in Turkish because that's the culture.
It's kind of like Emre Can. We know Emre Can is Turkish, but like Emre Can has nothing to do with being Turkish. He's German. His name is Can. Yeah, it's actually he's as Turkish as fucking Zidane is Algerian. Zidane is like, yeah, sure, Algeria. I don't know where that is on the map, but that is where I'm from. But yeah, so it's funny.
By the way, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's touch on that real quick. I mean, I don't know if you guys are in the FC America group, but there was like somebody, Chima, good old Chima, by the way, like posted like a meme, and I thought it was funny because it's Red Bull energy, the whole joke, and then people were like, "Gotta show this guy respect. How can you guys talk bad about Klopp and stuff?" I'm like, God damn, man, have a sense of humor, but it just makes sense. Right, for him to take that job. It's kind of like a cushy job. It's like a consulting gig ultimately. Like they make it sound like he's in charge of everything, but it's just basically, I mean, to me, I read the title, so he's a consultant that's gonna work.
Let me start by saying that job is fuck all. It's absolutely nothing.
With zero responsibility at the end.
You get
doing
paid a lot.
So many things.
You get paid a lot to sit down and say, cool. Here's another Red Bull for you, buddy. It's not a very serious job.
I'm just banging into the idea of him sacking Pep Linders. Really into it.
Yeah.
I'm really into it. Honestly, keep getting be 5-0. We'll fucking see.
Honestly, if I'm Pep, I'm like, sweet. I get a job for at least another 2 years.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it. Listen, I when it all came out, I don't care. Like, I just don't care. If Jürgen's happy, sound. Right. Whatever you want to do, fella, I don't care. Unless you want to just keep advising fucking players to the Reds and go, I think that'd be great for you if you moved there from Salzburg or something. I'm saying with that because I'm sure there's a couple of good lads around there. Do you know what I mean? But I'm banging into that idea. So, but other than that, I don't care enough.
Yeah, if we're
gonna he has a job, so maybe we stop talking about him. Like what he's doing.
The league, I don't care.
The other thing is he was very clear in his contract. The only way I will leave is if the Germany job becomes available, and he has made it clear in the interview apparently that after the World Cup he is likely going to Germany to manage the national team. So Sky did a breakdown of what his role is, and he's essentially just a really well-paid consultant. And he's waiting for the Germany job. And as soon as that opens, he is going to stop consulting and he's just going to go to Germany. And honestly, why not? He didn't lie. He was straightforward. I'm done with managing for a while, which he is. He's got an office job where he gets to stay in Germany or in New York and kind of hang out. Nothing for the guy. Let him live his life. He wants to spend time with his family. Jesus. This guy goes on Twitter and he goes on a tirade. He's like, Klopp is a liar. He betrayed us. We loved him. We gave him everything. I'm like, what the fuck?
It's the Red Bull hatred in Germany and the Leipzig hatred in Germany. That's why it's the most hated club in Germany, Leipzig, by a mile because of how they did it.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They came in, didn't they? Change the badge, change the logos and everything of the old club and then just basically get them all promoted. So that's why they're so hated. And I understand that element of the fans because of the job he's taken. There's also a part where there's got to be a bit of good grace. It's a bit like when Lampard went to City and stuff like that. There's just good grace. You're a legend of both clubs. Let's get on. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. I don't care enough.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking with Angel. I'm like, dude, it's a great gig. He's gonna be like, hey, honey, we gotta go to New York. I gotta watch a Red Bull game.
Yeah.
They're gonna go to New York. They're like, hey, I just gotta go into a couple of meetings. You go to the Mets, I'll meet you for dinner, and then watch the game, come back home. They're like, you want to go to Austria this weekend? Let's go watch Salzburg.
Just well suited Jurgen, just in a suit, sitting down up in the box office and just watching.
I don't want to see Jurgen in the suit ever again after that League Cup final.
Yeah, I think it's going to be he's going to rock the quarter zip.
I think there's a part as well. So for Red Bull's case, of course, getting Jurgen on is a massive coup, but they have a big sales point anyway because they get like players like Mane and Haaland and stuff like that, and they say, oh, we'll get you to the bigger club and we'll get you that. So it's good to attract the good young talent. Do you know what I mean? And then you've also got Jurgen to pick up the phone to a player to go, do you want to come to? You know what I mean? I think it's just massive for them, innit? So.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's getting paid for. He's getting paid for the name. And hey, kudos to him. Like I say, I was just glad because he has a job and we don't have to hear about it.
So, speaking of the German league and all that, I don't know if this was a headline. I wanted to send it yesterday, but I didn't.
No shit, because I didn't see it.
Have you guys been watching? He plays for Frankfurt, Omar Marmoush.
No.
I heard of him, yes.
Okay, so he is currently top scorer of the German league, plays for Frankfurt, Egyptian.
Oh, the more replacement article?
Say that again.
Is the more replacements article you're talking about? He was one of the names mentioned.
No. It's an Arabic article, but it has an English version. Essentially, a lot of rumors are going around in Egyptian outlets that he is Liverpool's next big target. Young guy. And then when the Egypt training starts, Marmoush is kind of like jogging out to the pitch. Salah turns around and he goes, "Oh, here comes our golden boy," and they all start like laughing. And then Trezeguet, the Egyptian guy who played for Villa, and that looks at him and he goes, "Ooh, the boss said you're the golden boy. Something is happening." And it's all in Arabic, and they all just kind of stop and start laughing really loud. And just Marmoush kind of like he walks it off, and him and Salah just shake up and they just go train. And that video has done circles in Arabic media. And then an Egyptian sports channel kind of grabs the video and they kind of break it down. And they're like, well, if you think about it, there's a lot of rumors going around that Liverpool is watching him and a lot is going on. And then Salah went up to him and told him that's our golden boy. So it looks like Mo knows something. And now everybody's going crazy. His highlights are everywhere, his videos.
Oh, God, here we go. Can we not? It's October, for fuck's sakes.
I don't want to go into this all the time with people. Do you know who I want to replace Mo Salah for the next 3 years?
Well, Marmoush wouldn't be a winger.
Where's he playing?
He's probably going to play as a attacking midfielder or like a 10.
Szoboszlai replacements?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
To be honest, it could be you or me could replace Szoboszlai at the moment. So that's not a complete coup. Number 2, he's 26.
Get an offer.
He's 26 in February. So he's at the peak stage, isn't he? This is it. It's now this summer or nothing. Liverpool have so many other things to do this summer than signing number 10. Then, you know what I mean? I think they have, we can get into the contract situation, and there's things I've been thinking about, and I've listened to other podcasts and things that have kind of give me a bigger memory and stuff like that. But how much would it cost to replace these 3 lads in the summer? How much would it cost to replace Virgil van Dijk, Trent, and Salah in one summer? 200 million?
No. I'll give you, because you're not spending that. We wouldn't spend that much on a right back. We would get a right back that suits slots, and you would go with like a young kid somewhere for 25, 30.
Okay.
I'm thinking like 150.
Okay. Oh, right. 50 mil off. But anyway, not including wages.
That's a lot of money, man. I'll give you 50 mil.
Yeah, but not including wages. All right, then 50 million in wages is 200 million for the 3 players. Is that fair?
Yeah.
It's not over 5-year deals.
I would think, because you got to figure. Depends on who they replace with. What is this guy's value? This is not a winger, I guess. But unless you already consider Chiesa as the replacement, for example.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying, we don't know what they're planning, or I know you're gonna go with the right hand side, left hand side. You might. Here's the deal.
I'm right.
We don't know what Slot is going to want. Is Slot gonna say at the end of the year, okay, so we did this? Clearly, this guy does not fit. That guy does not fit. Now it's time to move these guys, or what he's going to do. Because right now, I think this was a perfect scheme with working with what you have. But then he might say at the end of the season, like Szoboszlai, for example, yeah, he's just not getting the spots.
What?
I think he will, but he might say that at the end of the season.
The Mo Salah replacement has to be left-footed. We all agree. The balance is incorrect. You've just watched Luis Diaz on the right for 20 minutes against Palace, and he was garbage the last 20. Luis Diaz. He was great on the first half, and he was excellent, I thought.
Yeah, because you don't get that cut in. So.
Sorry, when he came off the bench, he came off the bench against Thingy, but he played on the right-hand side, and he was shite, I thought, Diaz. Because you don't have the balance. He has to be left-footed. The only kind of player I could have thought he could do it is Minter out of Brighton, who was at Newcastle, and Liverpool could have signed him in the summer for 30 million, but decided against it. Liverpool told us all fucking summer that it's dead hard to replace players because this squad's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Well, you got to lose 3 of your best fucking players. So don't tell me it's hard to replace them then, because you should have signed these 3 up then. Because you get what I'm saying? And they still might. They still might, by the way. But Liverpool are fucking 10 weeks away, 12 weeks away from these lads signing pre-contracts for foreign clubs.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you're working on getting a contract, or if you want to sign an extension, why would you sign the replacement?
This is my point, though. So the argument is then, if Mo Salah leaves for a free, you should have signed a replacement in the summer. We agree with that?
Okay, but here's what I'm telling you is, maybe if you're not planning to replace him, if you're planning to extend him and that's your goal, why would you sign a replacement?
Great call. So if your plan was to extend him, speak to him in the summer. And don't let the lad go into the last year where he holds all the fucking cards.
This should have been done last summer is the problem, not this summer. This should have been done last summer, not wait till the next fucking like...
Our fucking top level football club has got themselves in this position with 3 of the best players in the whole team. No other fucking elite football club gets in this position. It's insane. So
who do we thank for that situation? Do we thank Klopp and the gang? Do we think
ownership?
The board in the club, they signed the contracts.
The report that came out literally said that the ownership and the board are worried about his age with a 3-year contract. So this has been something in the back of their heads, like, if we give him a new contract, 3 years, he's going to be 38. No, we don't want to do it. It's the club.
And honestly, I'm on board with that one.
I don't think
talk about this one. I'm on board with that one at this stage. Like, if we're picking people, I am picking Van Dijk.
All right, I'm out.
I'm doing Van Dijk, Trent, Mo.
Okay. So you say that you're on board with them saying, I'm unsure of giving these lads a 3-year deal. No problem.
How much is... I'm talking about Mo. I was just talking about Mo. In terms
of Salah. You're unsure. Let's say the club are unsure about giving him a 3-year deal. Okay, no problem. How much does it cost to replace Mo Salah?
I don't care. No, I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about giving that much money to a guy who's not going to be, who's going to lose his effectiveness as he goes. He's already... Can you not see that he's already getting slower?
Yeah.
He can't beat people 1v1 like he used to.
Well, he can, but he hasn't got that burst of pace to get away from.
So in 3 years, that's only gonna diminish. He's not gonna get.
But if he renews for 3 years, he's not necessarily gonna stay 3 years. You keep him for a year, you don't let him go on a free, and then you sell him to Saudi or fuck all for next season, or for for 50 or 70 or 40, whatever. Not for free.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with Mo, you have the Saudi exit, but you don't want to end up with the Casemiro ordeal. But, you know what I mean? Like,
not looking that way though. He's still
sell him, and now he's getting like 400,000 a week. And nobody is going to pick up his wages, so you can't get.
He's still scoring. He's still assists. He's still doing his job, just a tiny tad slower.
You don't think genuinely this Casemiro thing, right? Everyone always look at United and they got all these players on high wages. Hey, lad, these lads. But the difference is Mo Salah and Casemiro. Mo Salah's boss. Casemiro's shite.
I'm just talking about diminishing skills. I mean, if you guys are denying this, I don't know what to tell you. This discussion is not going to go anywhere. If you guys can't see the diminishing skills of a winger.
I can
over the years. That's why I'm not saying they shouldn't sign him. I'm saying I'm more okay with them saying that about Mo, but not as much about Van Dijk, for example, because center back is a different audio.
And that's fair enough. I get that. So Mo Salah still gets you 18 goals a season, 20 goals. That's dead hard to find, you know, for a winger who's left-footed. It's so hard. They're so rare to find. That's my argument here. And like I'd have Mo over to Virgil. Even though Virgil still looks like the best centre-half in the world, because they're just so hard to find. They're so unique. That's why when Minter was available in the summer, I was like, if Liverpool do Minter, Salah's not getting a new deal. In my head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what it's... But now you don't do Minter. Now you've put all the cards... So you've got to pay Mo $350 a week. Okay? Let's just say he renews at $350 a week for 3 years. Say they give him what he wants. That works out at about 40 million. For the contract, 35 to 40. A lot of money. It costs you fucking more to replace him. Do you know what I'm saying? It costs you more to replace him. So that you're at the stage where you're going, and by the way, the other lad that you're going to sign to replace him is untested, and he might not get Mo's numbers. That's the hard part. But now what you've done is let him go into the end of the deal, and then all the players hold all the cards. The only thing I've got in my head is that those 3 players could sit there and go, we don't want to be in a situation where this manager could be shit. And we signed up for 3 years and he could be shite and we're finishing 7th. But now you realise he could be good. Maybe the players kind of look and go, we want to stay here, he's boss. Do you know what I mean? And maybe that's what the players are kind of waiting for in the summer. And that's the only way I rule back the club a little bit, because if the club does go to them, but bear in mind what Virgil van Dijk said the club hasn't been to them. Salah said the club hasn't been to them. And I'm assuming Trent's the same. They could sit there and go, hey, do you want to sign a new deal? And they're going to go, well, we're going to just wait a year.
Well, especially last year, right? When Klopp said he's leaving, we didn't even know who the fuck is going to come.
And that's another part. They might think, well, we don't want to be in a situation where we're finishing 7th when we're 33.
What if you guys bring over Ten Hag or something?
It could be a version of that, though. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
They all think the same as us. They're not stupid. They're clever. These are smart men. So there is a part of this, but I tell you right now, mate, if not done in 12 weeks, I think that whole January transfer window is going to be fucking brutal.
Yes.
Brutal.
Yeah, the optimist in me was saying it was going to happen in this international break.
How would I?
Now, the second optimist in me says next international break, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, all I'm saying is that's my prioritization. I think we talked about this.
You think Virgil over Trent for priority? You think Virgil over Trent for priority?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
But if you take Virgil out of that defense is not nowhere near.
Yeah, I suppose if you take Trent out of it,
I think you can get the same Virgil for at least another 2-3 years easily.
You don't think Trent's got another level?
I don't know. I'd rather replace Trent than Van Dijk, I guess.
Interesting. No, it's fair. It's an honest conversation. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I'm just, you're one of the first people who said Virgil over Trent just because of the age profile alone and Trent's numbers on assists.
I think that's what when people say Trent, I think they say it mostly because of the age and like what he can do. He's only going to get better, kind of thing. I'm thinking I'm looking at for the next, like that's kind of like too long of in 5. So we're basically looking at past the 3 years now, right? Because in the next 3 years, if Van Dijk, they're both staying. I feel like Van Dijk is still more important. So we're talking about past the 3 years. God knows what will happen. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like if this team is going to continue to stay competitive, if you have Trent but another center back over there, I'm not as comfortable as having Van Dijk another right back, if that makes sense.
I've definitely. But I think the one thing that re-signing 3 of them do is 2 things. Number one, it gives you time to replace them.
Yeah,
Virgil and Salah. If you resign all 3, it gives you some time to do some shit that you need to do. Number 2. And I heard it on another podcast, and I think it's a really excellent point. I can't be asked with a long goodbye, like Klopp had. Like everyone was like, "Oh, this is his last game against City, last game against Arsenal. Oh, it's Salah's last game against City. It's Virgil's last game against Arsenal." I can't be asked. I just genuinely cannot be asked like the season that we had last year, where we all got caught up in emotion and stuff. And by the way, it was injuries as well. I think that's what cost Liverpool the league in the end was injuries. But we all just got caught up in emotion, and I just can't be asked. I just don't want that anymore. I just don't want to sit there when it gets to February and we go Liverpool in the title race, but it's
especially the shit with like his last game against City and stuff.
I can't be asked, and everyone's clapping.
His very last home game, I'll care, and that'll be it.
I cannot be asked with that storyline when Liverpool are trying to win a league.
Yeah, I think the only people who would be asked is like media because they can just like
But they'll swindle it, won't they? They'll swindle that. Right, and by the way. We'll all fall into that trap eventually. Yes. We'll get to February and March and we go, we love these lads, these lads are good. And we all fall into it, and I don't want to fall into that anymore. I fell into the Klopp one, and I was hook, line, and sinker, and I don't want to do it again. I cannot be asked.
Yeah, I don't think I even was a hook, line, sinker on that one. I was more sick of hearing about it than anything else. But then I think we watch and listen so much that it gets like honestly similar to this conversation. I had to say it, but because we're still don't know what's going to happen. I like I say, we can only talk about, what we want to happen. I still think I don't think all 3 of these guys are walking. But
I think they do.
Yeah, I don't think they do. But that's what I mean. We're just
the only one that I think could walk is Mo. I think Trent gets the contract. I think Big Verge gets the contract. I don't know if Mo gets the contract. And this is just based on the club, not me or anything. And honestly, I think we could have a replacement, and I hate to say it because I'm not going to know how to mention his name, but the left-footed winger in Napoli, that Georgian lad.
Yeah, he's been injured.
Yeah, I mean, he could talk to Marmalade, and they could get going, and we could have something going there because he is leaving Napoli this season. He is. It was very clear that he wanted to leave last summer. Didn't work out. He's leaving this summer. Young will not be very expensive, and quite possibly one of the most
expensive. Not that expensive. 50, 60?
50, 60, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite possibly one of the most dynamic wingers in the world. Can cut in and score, kind of like Mo. And Young.
He needs a big season, though, he's been injured a lot. He needs a big season this year, doesn't he? For Liverpool to do that. He needs 20 goals. I want to see 20 out of him, fella. I need to see some fucking numbers. You know what I mean?
I think that's not fair, though, because teams play different styles. So
well, I mean, keep in mind, Mo wasn't scoring 20 in Roma.
Yeah, that's what I
mean. A system.
Fair, but Napoli have got a fucking tune out of Scott McTominay getting 20 this year. You know what I mean?
Scott McTominay's getting 35 this year.
Yeah. So I'm at the stage where I think all 3 go. I think I'm at that stage. I just come with acceptance of like I think the agents are already out there looking and go, listen, mate, if the club don't care about you that much, they would have done this years ago. They would have got this box. They don't give a fuck. And I think this at that stage. I think Trent goes to Madrid. I think the Carvajal injury is a killer. I really do. Carvajal out for the season for them. I don't think you can sign a pre-contract.
Yeah, I mean, Carvajal is fucking. I know he doesn't play like it, but he's like old.
But he's out for the year.
I mean, even if he didn't get injured, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
but he signed a 2-year deal in the summer. Carvajal signed a new 2-year deal in the summer. He did sign a new 2-year deal.
So because Madrid respect their legends and don't let them walk, but that's a different conversation.
Here we go.
I mean, Liverpool. I think all 3 leave. That's what I'm at.
No, unfortunately, the Trent to Madrid thing starts to make more sense by today. You know, he gets to the England training camp and Bellingham's got his birthday party going, and
he's the reverse thing. Fucking Bellingham went and they're eating breakfast with Henderson and shit.
This part, I ignore, but the relationship between them two is.
And do you think? Go on. Yeah, but you also think Jude Bellingham, when he's shouting on the pitch to Mbappe and Hendrick to run back and fucking help us out, do you reckon he's telling Trent that? And go, fuck me, these lazy cunts up front don't do fucking nothing, lad. I'm getting singled out here, and you're going to get fucking singled out like you do in the English media. I can't be arsed with that.
Yeah, and this is why I think Trent should be nowhere near Spain. Because his first game where he has a great game going forward, but he makes one defensive mistake, he will be butchered.
The one thing for Trent, which I think he might stay, is that he's always said he wants to be the Liverpool captain.
And that's the only thing.
And if Liverpool let the Liverpool captain go, he will be the Liverpool captain. So there's definitely but there's also a part of found Trent and go, well, I'll sign if you're signing Virg. Because he's boss. So there could be a part of that and go, what's your if I'll do 5.
The whole thing is like a domino thing. Like everybody is looking for the ambition. So if it happens, maybe all happens because, like I say, Van Dijk stays. So Trent says, okay, so we're staying. This team is going to be good still. So he stays. And Mo is like, oh, okay, so we're still going to be good. I'm liking how the slot guy is. He stays. I think at the end of the day, they're going to stay. But
these 3 lads, by the way, are definitely, the agents are definitely there going, what's your plan this summer? Because we thought you needed 4 in the last summer, and you signed Chiesa. What's your fucking plan? By the way, they have every right to ask that to the club right now. With what's left on the deal and what they've done for our football club, they have every right to go to our club and go, what's the plan in the summer?
Yeah.
Which is fair
enough.
I
would think, like I say, it goes back to what we talked about all last summer too, kind of like almost like hope and trust in Edwards kind of a thing, but then we'll find out if that ends up being, who's not staying is this dude, Begerstein or Begerstein. I don't know how to pronounce his name, to be honest with you. He's leaving. I mean, he was supposed to leave anyway. We were talking about it kind of like end of the show, but like real quick, I mean, I don't think Pep is staying anyway, because something is going to come out of this case one way or the other that Pep is not going to be happy with. Even if it's a transfer ban, we know Pep is going to be like, well, then I'm out. If I'm not going to be able to buy fucking right backs and left backs, I'm out of here kind of a deal. So I don't think it has any huge significance, but Kazi, you think otherwise?
I do, mate. I do. So for the context, I think he went into City in like 2013, I think. And he was building for City just for Pep Guardiola to come. So he's the former Barcelona chief exec. Very close. I think he's a former teammate of Pep, maybe at Barca. I can't remember. But anyway, best friend. Yeah, I think he's like one of his best friends. He went into City. He goes to City to kind of build it up for Pep in terms of the backroom staff. Pep comes in and leaves. Pep's also got a year left on his deal. He runs out in the summer. And I think if he would have stayed, I think that would have maybe even tempted Pep to stay. You know what I mean? But I just got a feeling with him going that Pep might go, well, my mate's not here anymore. And it's a nice way to leave kind of thing. It's a nice time. I think it's significant for the City fans to think if one goes, the other goes, kind of thing.
See, I think he was going. I thought they were both going anyway. In my mind, I kind of considered both of them to be. I mean, this guy was already, but I his thoughts based on all he's saying. I know he's kind of like one eye is on the case, but I just feel like Pep is leaving anyway because something's going to come out of the case one way or the other.
Whether something comes out of the case or not, Pep was pretty straightforward last week when they talked to him about the city of Manchester and the club. He said, I love Manchester. I love this city. And whatever happens next year happens. You can't tell me this isn't somebody who's not leaving. Whatever happens, happens. He's like basically saying, fuck you guys. I'm out. Don't hate the player. Hate the game. He's just done.
Also, doesn't help. Say if he got a transfer ban that Kevin De Bruyne is fucking flirting with Saudi Arabia every fucking summer. And Bernardo Silva said he's leaving for the last 7 years and hasn't left yet. It's like, you know what I mean? So I think City have got a more of a rebuild than they think that they would like to take on the sly. I think that, you know, Ederson was also linked, weren't he, with Saudi Arabia?
This summer they went. I always thought when we signed Mamardashvili, I thought that was kind of like an insurance because next summer it's going to be Alisson they come after.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing as well. So I just feel like with Pep leaving, the backroom staff leaving, because Pep will take them wherever he goes, and then Bergestein leaving, and De Bruyne at a certain age, and I just don't know. I don't think City realise how much of a rebuild that they have. And if they have a rebuild and a transfer ban, it's very, very difficult to do. So we shall see. But that's why Oscar Bob was such a big injury for them this year, I think. And Rodri's massive, but Oscar Bob was going to play such a part this year. And when he comes back, I do think he'll play loads of footy. Because he's a good player.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Any rebuild, I mean, we're talking about ours. We were just talking about what it's going to take to replace guys and stuff like that. I mean, they have some aging talent that they'll have to replace. And, some of these guys like them and Chelsea and stuff have stockpiled some young guys where they bought them in South America and loaned them out and stuff. But either way, to be successful in the Premier League, you got to get some proven names in and you need money for that. So
before we go, I want to talk about this Alexis McAllister issue. Because this has been fucking bee in my bonnet. He gets fucking hooked at half time against Palace because he's injured. You've sent him to Argentina. I don't know if you know, but Liverpool to Argentina is miles away. He's fucking training on his own. He's missed the first game because he's injured, and now he's not even fucking doing any kind of team training. Why didn't you just fucking pull rank and say you're not taking McAllister, you gang of fucking idiots? Liverpool are playing Chelsea on Sunday. And they're trying to keep him there till Thursday to potentially play in that fucking last game. Why did you even send him in the first place? Why didn't you say to McAllister, haven't you done enough in the last couple of years by winning the World Cup and the fucking Copa America to sit there and go, you know what, I'm going to miss this international break to concentrate on Liverpool. The club who pays you to win the fucking Premier League.
I know. I think here's my thing, though. I think he's a potential future captain there. What if McAllister says, I want to go?
He would have been the captain anyway.
But if he wants to go, Kazi, that's not your call. If the guy wants to go, the guy wants to go.
Yeah, but he's not fit. You're not even training. You're not fit.
But if he wants to be there because I'm the captain, blah, 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 kind of a thing, as a leader, you can't tell the guy, no, you're not leaving and lock him and go to your room.
Well, McAllister should use his fucking head and go.
So you're mad at McAllister, I'm assuming.
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. You made it sound like the club is why.
I just wanted to know who you're mad at first.
You're mad at McAllister, not the club. I'm just trying to clarify.
That's under the impression that the club's had that conversation with him. We're under the impression that the club's had the conversation of you should fucking stay. You know what I mean? And then he's went, no, I'm going anyway. Then I'm mad at McAllister. But if the club haven't had that conversation with him and given that advice, then I'm mad at both of them. You know what I mean? Like
we don't. I mean, that's the conversation.
That's garbage that he's gone. He's not even. He's training on his own in Argentina. He could train on his own with our fucking players.
He's not playing. I'm all good.
It's insane. It's absolutely pathetic. For what?
Are you as mad at McAllister unnecessarily as Kazi is over here?
No, listen. My friend just messaged me. He's like, "I love this podcast." I'm like, "What? Why?" The response is, I know nothing that's going on, but it's very entertaining. Kazi gets fired up and it's hilarious. And then Tim just throws in a random story. It's so good.
Lad, I'm fuming, you know. Honestly, I'm fuming with that little fucking midget. He's the only fucking
McAllister, man. Like, I mean, that's the thing. I understand what you're saying, but I can see, I don't know. I try to look at the players. Some of these guys, and as they should, and I feel like, if they were Turkish, they better. take pride in the national team and like see it as important. We might say these games are bullshit, they're worthless and stuff like that, but I want my national team players. Turkey plays later today. I want those guys to be freaking on their game and playing, not like worrying about I got to go to the club and stuff like that.
Every single international, I have no issue with them going if you're fit. I have an issue with them going.
If he's not playing, what's the difference? It's not like going to it's not a Keita ordeal, right? Where they took him half injured and then they injured him over again.
He's half injured.
It's not like he's playing him, but they're not playing him.
So why go?
Because oh my God, I thought we just covered this. If he wants to go and if he wants to be like, is he a vice captain or no?
Okay.
I'm assuming, well, you might not care. He might. That's the fucking problem here. You don't care. McAllister might.
That is garbage that he's gone. If he thinks that's best for his rehab, is to fly to Argentina and sit on a plane for 12 hours to get fucking to train on your own, then that is absolutely.
I mean, you can be mad at McAllister. I'm just saying that might be important to him.
He's bang lucky Liverpool play Sunday, because if Liverpool were half 12, Sassy fella, I'd leave him there. I'll fucking leave him there.
I would be more upset if he fucking plays.
And they just leave him there.
Just fuck him off and leave him there. He can fuck off.
Shit, we didn't know he came with us.
Honestly, swear to God. Anan, help me out here. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, but you're just really angry at the wrong guy. You're 100% right. He should be nowhere near that team. He's not fit. He's not playing. He's not doing anything.
So why are you there? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
why are you there?
You can be mad at McAllister. I'm not going to hate a guy going to his national team.
The Argentinian pride that they've got. But yeah, like Timujan said, he's excited. Turkey play. I'm very excited. Libya played today. Palestine played today. I don't know a single player on both of those teams.
Libya and Palestine. I hope it's a game of football that they're having a.
No, because I'm both halves. So my Palestinian half is gonna be excited to watch the game. And again, I don't know a single player. I just watch them lose, and be like, damn, we got it next time. And then Libya playing Nigeria today, so you know damn well that little fuck is gonna score like 12 against us. And yeah, it's gonna be a good day.
And honestly, I'm not that excited. I don't care as much about the game today or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I want my national team players to care about the national team.
And that's fine. And you can care about the national team.
And this is why it's good for me, because both Libyan players and Palestinian players only play for the national team, so they have to care. So I'm good with that.
Hey, in Alexis McAllister's defense, he's always been fucking fantastic when he's come back from international break, hasn't he? Oh, no.
Oh, he's been absolute shit. Oh, okay.
I just hope they don't play him. That's my biggest thing. I don't care if he's over there jogging on the sideline or whatever.
Actually, Dan, so this is a good question. This is a good question. And if they do him for half an hour to get on Thursday, do you start him for Chelsea on Sunday?
We have no choice.
If it's half hour, yeah, you do. It's almost like what we would do on a midweek Champions League game. He comes in the last 20, 30 minutes, and then he starts the next game kind of thing. So I'd be okay with that.
Even if he plays 85, we have no choice.
Well, that's true, too. And that's when he sucks usually, like Kazi says. When he comes back, after playing 290 minutes, he comes back. And then, like
he played 290 minutes.
Yeah.
Looks like he played 290 minutes at 8,000 feet elevation in South America. That's what.
And took a 12-hour flight back and probably didn't sit in first class. Sat all the way in the back. Had to eat those fucking Biscoffs.
Looks like he's had one night's sleep. He's been sitting in row 46F to get home.
Next to a crying baby that just happens to be
tall guy in front of him pushed the chair.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it looks like. That's how Alexis McAllister.
And the guy next to him is really big and keeps asking him, so what do you do for a living?
Yeah, exactly. And he's sitting there like,
well, good luck to Argentina and McAllister on behalf of America.
Argentina and McAllister.
Like to say.
Well, based on the conditions where they played yesterday, really good luck, because if McAllister plays in that and he gets tripped up and hurt, it's bad. The water was all the way up to their ankles and they were slipping and sliding. It was bad.
That'd be good. That's a good thing, though. So if he does trip up and gets injured, I wonder where he goes for his treatment. Oh,
maybe he's in Argentina.
Before he went, maybe he was already injured. Fuck him.
For those of us who like McAllister, good luck to him in the Argentina national team. Have a great weekend, everybody. Find something to do. Enjoy the weekend off, if you will. And then we'll see you guys Monday morning at the morning coffee show. So have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.